Let's talk shit. Let's talk some shit tonight. We're not talking about anybody else's shit. We're talking about our own shit. And specifically tonight, let's talk about the S in the acronym SHIT, which is shame. So SHIT, for those of you who don't know, is shame, hurt, insecurities, and triggers. And I am here to help you to let the shit go. And tonight, I want us to talk about shame. Because so many women are operating in a shameful place, and shame disconnects you from your worth. And shame creates a belief that you are not enough and makes you feel that you need to shrink in order to belong. Shame suppresses you. Shame hinders you from truly expressing yourself. Shame makes you not want to be seen. Shame worries about what other people are going to say when they see you. Shame will keep you from your purpose. It will create obstacles to you being the most powerful, purposeful version of yourself. And as women, we carry so much shame on the inside. So much shame. Worried about what people are going to say. Worried about what people are going to think. Worried about how we look. Worried about how other people are going to receive us. And all of that worry creates an obstacle to you being able to show up as the greatest version of yourself. And we want to stop doing that. As women, it's time for us to reclaim our power. It's time for us to let the shit go. The shame, the hurt, the insecurities, and the triggers. Let it go so that we can reclaim our power. And that's what Woman Reclaim Your Power, my conference that I'm holding in Houston, Texas at the Power Center, April 11th and 12th, is all about. Because, you know, even this is the month, the International Women's Month, right? And women are finding their power now. And even those who are not fully stepping into their power are making some decisions with regards to what they want going forward. One of the challenges is that we've been so conditioned from a psychological, from a societal, from a cultural standpoint as women to show up for everybody else. We've been conditioned that what we truly want doesn't matter. And even if we give ourselves permission to step into what we truly want, there's often this shame or this guilt that's attached for going out and doing what we want to do. Because there's this internal belief system that we need to be there for everybody else, but us being there for ourselves is not as important, right? And so it's not made a priority by us. And then what's happening with a lot of women right now is that their children are growing up. Their children are going off to college. Their children are leaving home. They have empty nest syndrome that's going on, and they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are outside of the role of being a mother. They don't know who they are outside of the role of being a wife. And so they're having a difficult time connecting to the power and the purpose within. Because we've been told what you want don't really matter. You need to be here for the children. You need to be here for the husband. You need to be here for the community. You need to be here for society. We need you available when we need you to show up. And so that often looks like not being there for ourselves. And then when we're by ourselves, right, you're on the other side of a relationship, your children have left home, you don't really know who you are. You don't really know what matters to you. You don't really know what you desire. You don't really know what you want. Right? And so you find yourself kind of like stumbling and fumbling through life. So many women right now are experiencing this feeling of being stuck, this feeling of imposter syndrome, this feeling of people finding out that they're not really who they've been portraying themselves to be all this time. Or they might be just in a low season. They're feeling depressed. They're on the other side of a broken relationship. They're on the other side of some major life transition. They're on the other side of grief or loss, maybe having, lost parents or, lost a spouse or lost a child. And now they're in this place of having to find their new normal, find who they are now, giving themselves permission to tap into what matters for them now, right? And it's important that you do that, because if you don't give yourself permission to connect to the aspect of you, then often you feel unfulfilled, right? Often you feel like life is not giving you what you want. You might even be feeling like life isn't giving you what you've given. You might have been that person who showed up for everybody else. You were the people pleaser. You were the nurturer. You were the encourager. You drove everybody everywhere. Everybody came over to your house for events, right? And now you find yourself in a season where you feel so lonely and so alone, and you feel like nobody is there to support you, and the people who you were there for aren't there for you. And then there might be an aspect of you that feels like you can't have that conversation with anybody because you don't trust anybody, or you feel some shame around the broken relationship, or you feel some shame around the disconnect with your child, or you feel some shame about not being where you feel like you should be. I had a conversation with a 28-year-old the other day, and she's a business owner, she's an entrepreneur, she has several businesses, but she's struggling with the thought of not being where she should be at 28. And so we had a conversation, and I asked her, I said, where did you get the notion from that you should be a certain place at 28 years old? And one of the things that she said was looking at other people's lives and feeling like she should be where they are. Right? Well, comparison is crippling. And when you're comparing your life, your journey to somebody else's, you often feel shame. You don't feel like you are enough, right? Or you feel like you're not as worthy and as valuable as somebody else. And I totally understand that. Oh my God, I went through my entire teen years feeling that way. But it's because I was always looking at what somebody else was doing. I looked at their body. I looked at their grades. I looked at, the position that they might have held with different things. And I was like, well, you're not good enough. And it's so crazy because I was the president of our senior class, right? I was the treasurer in the Interact Club. Or the secretary, one of those. I had all these different positions. But when you look at what somebody else is doing as being better than what you're doing, you're often going to feel shame. You're not going to feel as if you're enough, right? But you are enough. And if you would give yourself permission to find yourself, to connect to yourself, to understand yourself in the season of life that you currently are in, because that's the thing too. We go through different seasons in life, babe. We're not going to always be in the same place. Life is a journey. It is not a destination. We are continually evolving, continually growing, continually learning, right? But if you feel shame, you're not giving yourself permission to shine as fully as you were created to shine. That's the other thing too. A lot of women are coddling other people's shame, coddling other people's insecurities. We're not going to talk about insecurities in this video. We're going to talk about insecurities 2 videos down, right? But you're coddling how other people are feeling. And so you don't want them to feel less than in your presence. So you dim your light and you don't shine as bright as your light can shine, because you don't want other people to feel uncomfortable or inferior. But who are you essentially dishonoring? Who are you essentially disregarding when you do that? Yourself. And then when you are not respected, and when you are not honored, and when you are not regarded, then you get in your feelings about that. But you have let other people know by the way that you treat yourself that it's okay to dishonor you. It's okay to disregard you. It's okay to make you feel like you have to shrink. And that's what we do when we feel this shame or this guilt, is we shrink ourselves to belong, not show up as the greatest version of yourself. But something in you always feels unfulfilled. Something in you always feels like you're disconnected from what you're supposed to be doing, that you should be doing more. And that's what shame does. Shame suppresses you. Shame tells you that you have to remain hidden. Shame makes you feel ashamed or insecure about being center stage and being seen and being this larger than life personality, because somewhere along your journey, somebody told you you are too much. Somebody told you, dim it down, tone it down. You don't have to do all of that. You don't have to be all of that. But you're light. And you're not just light, you're light bright, bright light. You don't have 20 watts. You're not a 25 watt light bulb. You're a 100 watt light bulb. You are thousands of lumens light bulb. You were created to shine bright. And the thing is, at certain points in our life, we might dim it down a little bit. We might be a little bit less than we are, because we go through things in life, right, that kind of discombobulate us, or take us off course. And so we gotta catch ourselves, right? We need some time. We need some time. But when you take that time, come back shining brighter, because you were created to shine. So don't let anybody else or you diminish your light, dim your light, make you feel that you need to be less than the divine God Spirit created you to be. You got a big personality, and that's okay. You loud, and that's okay. Listen, I had to embrace my loud a long time ago. I am loud. And you know what I love about it? I don't need a microphone to speak to a room full of people. If the microphone ever goes out, I can project very well. So we can reframe it and say that we are good projectors of voice. Right? But like me, I don't care. I embrace my loud, right? You have to know who you are so that you can embrace who you are and be proud of who you are. Own who you are proudly, because you are who you are. My daddy did a song many years ago, and one of my favorite songs of his that he did. And the song was titled, I Am Who I Am. And the words of that song is, I search every day to find my own way, searching high and low. I don't know what I'm searching for, but Lord, you say where there's a will, there is a way. And I always resonated with that song, and I often hear that song in my soul. And I believe that that's one of the songs that is a soul song. You know, we have soul songs. We have songs that show up as messages, as encouragement for us. There's this other song that I sing all the time. What is the song? Anyway, if I think of it, I'll say it in the next video. But, well, this is one. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be all right. Yes, Bob Marley, come on in the room, honey. Yes, we have to give ourselves permission to stop worrying, stop wondering, stop doubting, stop feeling some kind of way. Stop saying same shit, different day, because that's what you're creating for yourself, right? So, Woman Reclaim Your Power in Houston, Texas, April 11th and 12th at the Power Center. This is created for the woman who, she wants to make peace her standard. She realizes that she is past survival mode. She is ready to go into thriving mode. She is tired of carrying emotional burdens alone. She is tired of saying yes to everybody else and no to herself. She is ready to understand the power and the purpose that is within her. She is ready to reclaim her power, honey. That is what Woman Reclaim Your Power is all about. And listen, if any of those descriptions feels like you got a seat in the room. And I am inviting you to be in that room with me. So I want you to just go to this website right here. Find out more about it. And if it resonates, if your soul feels like it's telling you, girl, this is for you at this time, then claim your seat. Right? Because again, it is time for the woman to reclaim her power. Because when a woman rises, when a woman is well, when a woman is whole, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, the entire community is well and whole. The entire family is well and whole. Society is well and whole. And that's one of the reasons why society is in the condition that it is in, because women have kind of like taken a backseat to who they are. They have allowed their power to be usurped, or they haven't understood their power so that they can walk in it fully. It's time for that to stop, because it is the divine feminine energy, honey, rising, awakening, coming into her own, that is going to be the shift that this world is calling for right now, right? Because we're the nurturers, we're the bearers of life, we are the holders of life, we are the birthers of life, the nurturers of life, right? Yes, that part. So baby, listen, let the S in the shit go. Let the shame go. You don't have to hold on to what had happened and allowing that to continue to keep you bound, right? Let it go. Learn the lesson from it. Be okay with what happened. What don't serve you, leave it in the past. What serves you, take it forward with you as wisdom, as lessons learned and wisdom. Now you can apply the knowledge that you have on the other side of what happened was, right? So remember that you are the author of your life. Every choice that you make will reflect your power, okay? So go ahead and have yourself the what? Most amazing day. And don't you dare let anybody else what? Fuck it up, okay? I love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, I'm going to be on live on Instagram tomorrow around this same time. What time is it? Like 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Follow me so you can get the notifications when I go live. And tomorrow we're going to talk about hurt and how that shows up in our lives and how we let it go. All right. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.